Here we are in Orange Cove, late morning, deep December, foothills in the background. Traditionally, citrus has run from Sanger clear down to Arvin. For those of you that are out of the area, that's east of Fresno, right along the foothills for about 150-mile swath, clear down to the end of the valley for frost protection. However, citrus has gone inland a lot. It's pretty heavy, even into 40 miles, 50 miles deep into the valley now. You'll even see some of it over on a little bit on the west side, not doing too bad. But this is generally the swath that the citrus lies in historically. But there's so many advances in technology now. The wind machines, they used to be all engines up there. Used to be really loud when there was the threat of frost. And now almost everybody's propane. So it's really quiet. I mean, it sounds like a helicopter blade, but we don't have a ton of frost here, so they're not running that often. But one thing I like about this whole area, this whole run along the foothills, is how quiet it is. The 99 and the 5 that run right down the valley, the 99 is heavily trafficked, and it used to just jar your teeth out because of all the semis rolling through there and all the potholes. But they've got that pretty fixed up now. In fact, they're almost done. It's pretty smooth the whole way through. They're just kind of wrapping it up in Merced right now. But we've got 3-lane a lot of the way, and it's a really smooth ride. But know that freeway is really loud, and that's about 30 miles from here. And you can hear it a couple miles off. It's really loud in the valley because of, it's very hand intensive, especially in the Central Valley with all the different crops. But one thing I like about the area where citrus is grown, is that it's really quiet. Hear that? Exactly. Some cows bellowing out in the foothills out there. And there's very little pruning, and there's no thinning in citrus. And when you come in to harvest the crop, usually it's one pick and done. So it's the roads aren't as trafficked. It's really quiet, and there's just some fantastic little towns to live in, and the air is a little cleaner. And 47% of California is public lands, and if you're in the valley, it's very highly privatized. So your home is your castle. So you just really want to make sure that where you're living is where you're going to be spending when you're not at work. You're going to be there, because there's not a lot of public land in the valley, especially probably Chico south. You get north, there's a lot of public land, but when you're along this citrus belt here, you can jump right into the national parks. We've got right here is Sequoia National Park, Kings Canyon National Park, and just a little bit up there is Yosemite, which is exceptional every way. Catch it in a really wet year for the waterfalls, hit the mist trail. We'll go over that another time, but you're close to everything if you don't mind driving. If you're coming from outside of California, know that this is a car culture. We invented the drive-through. We spend a lot of time in our cars, and we don't think anything of driving an hour. Like, especially if you're in Orange County and you're going somewhere that's 45 minutes, that's like around the corner. It's a California culture, is car culture. And so you're going to drive. So when you're in the valley, you can hit all those public lands. You can be to the ocean on the Central Coast from here in 2 hours, and you can be in a national park in 1. And that's not counting all the national forests and recreation areas we have. And I just helped a buddy move his dairy to Wisconsin this summer. He's called me a couple weeks ago. Hey, Steve, he's like, I got to drive 2 hours to hunt on public lands. And I said, well, yeah, I lived briefly in the Midwest, and it is really true there. It's highly privatized, and just like the Central Valley is that way. But no, we are surrounded by just about everything you could imagine to do, and we've got the weather to do it in.